Good evening, members of the media. Coach Manqoba of Mamelodi Sundowns is here. Firstly, he will give us just his perspective on the game. Then after that, we'll do the Q&A. Thank you. Coach Manqoba.
Good evening, guys. It was just one of those unfortunate games. I think we had a very good high press in the beginning of the game. We created 3 chances. And I want to believe that had we taken one of those chances from Peter and the captain, maybe something would have been different. The game was a little bit scrappy because they were sitting back and looking to catch us on a counter, and we know how dangerous they are with Shonga, with Ngele and Lamula. So the game became very scrappy, but we kept pushing and pushing. But unfortunately, second half when I think we also got a good chance from Makhalo, unfortunately, we got injured and there was no penalty. But that is the summary of the game. We did not create too many chances, to be honest. Most of the chances that we created were mainly from the high press, which I think worked very well. But unfortunately, when it did not yield the results that we have wanted, we knew that it's not going to be an easy game because they've signed quite a lot of very good players. Ngema from Mutongati has always been one of those good players that I admired. Justin Shonga has done also very well. So also did not have that much of a big game, but you know the threat that he poses in front of goals. And I must say their defense also stood very firm with Ndengane, Topola, Nunyane, and to a certain extent the left back was never really tested that much. I think that would be the summary of the game for me.
If we can have the first question, please introduce yourself and your entity.
They are all muted. They're muted by you or what?
Is there any takers?
Yeah, Coach, it's Nati from Energy FM in Polokwane. In terms of tactical approach of this game, how would you rate your team and how they fared?
No, I was impressed because what we wanted, we did not want to give them time on the ball. We knew Miguel team would cause us problems if we give them time on the ball. And structurally, we put very good pressing traps to be able to deal with that. And it yielded the results that we wanted, and we could have easily scored and won the game from those situations. But unfortunately, we never used them. And in a game like this, you will always be caught with a counter-attack here and there. Topola had one good moment second half, which could have easily caused us problems. But structurally, I think there was a lot positive. In as much as we did not create as many clear-cut chances, but I still believe we did enough to be able to win the match.
Next person, please.
Okay, Coach, just away from this game, Lisedika Pinga, is he still need to work harder in order for him to be included maybe on match day squad? Or is there anything that we don't know, perhaps a light injury? Just give us an update on him, please.
He's not injured. He's still trying very hard to adapt to the conditions of Sundowns. He's a very good player offensively, but he still has a lot of work to do defensively. And at Sundowns, unfortunately, we expect everybody to help the team when we don't have the ball. We work very hard to try and regain possession of the ball. And that is one of the big aspects of his game that must improve. He's also not taking very good care of the ball. He loses the ball cheap. And in a big team like Sundowns, when you lose balls now and again, you are always exposed to counterattacks. So I think those are some of the areas that he still has to improve on. He's a very good player. We know what he's capable of, but there's still a very, very big amount of work that he still has to do for him to really command a start or even a substitute position at Sundowns.
Can we have the last 2 questions, please?
Sorry, we are juggling between 2 press conferences. Coach Velile here, looking at how you started over the weekend. You did say that they were going to be a different type of a team because they are unknown. I noticed how they played. They might be having a lot of challenges off the field. But what do you make of this opponent? Because on the field of play, they look like a totally different team from what we see off the field.
Believe me, Vadila, they have assembled a very good team. A very good team in all fairness. They are just unfortunate to be having some negative things outside the pitch, but inside the pitch, they are a very competitive outfit. The front three of Shonga, Lamula, and Ngele, it's more than decent. And in the number 10 position, or who played more as a winger in some instances in this match, Ungema from Mutongati, has always been one of those players I've been looking at very closely in KZN. He's a very good player. Miguel Team is one of the best passers of the ball in the league. He may be having some defensive qualities, but in possession, he's one of the best. Mapangule, in a combination play game, is one of those top players. He may not have as much energy to go box to box now and again, but technically, they will always cause you problems. That is why we adopted a strategy to try and press them from the top so that we try and minimize the danger that they would pose to us. Because when they are in possession of the ball, you saw them against SuperSport, you saw them against TS Galaxy. In some moments, they can really cause you a lot of harm. So we dealt with that very well, but they are a very good outfit, I must say. Washington also gives them a little bit more because he's got the ability to kick long and he finds those spaces behind the defense. And Justin Shonga, everybody knows what he's capable of. Lamula may not be scoring a lot of goals, but he causes a lot of chaos in the defense with his speed taking the wide channels.
Thank you. Last question, please.
Well, if there are no takers, maybe I will come back again, Coach. So now for the next few days, you are off until next week. What do you use for this period? Because as you had said, there are a lot of players who still need to be given a chance. So do you use this to get some friendlies with other teams which are available? And maybe I didn't pick it up earlier, not picking up maximum points. Would you look at it as a disappointment, or it's also part of the process of getting to understand the process of settling?
I will start with the last one. Not getting the maximum points, it's always disappointing for a team like Sundowns. And we believe we did enough to be able to get something out of it, but we must also not take away their guts. They worked very hard defensively to make it difficult for us. Coming to the issue of the period that we have now, we still have issues of adaptation for some of the players and trying to integrate everybody within the team. So this gives us a little bit more time to work without the pressure of preparing for a game, but to work on the aspects of the game that we think are important for the team to play the way we want them to play. And we are encouraged with some of the things that they are doing already, because there are some changes that we are trying to bring into the team structurally from a build-up perspective in the midfield, the consolidation side, and also our creative side in the number 10 position, where Zwane, Mngqithi find themselves a lot, Gaston Sereno in those positions. So we are trying to work very hard in those aspects. And our wing play, times is not as crisp as one would have loved. Our possession to isolate, at times the movement of the ball, the speed of the ball is not what we'd want to expose opponents maybe in areas that we think they may not have numerical superiority or they may not be as balanced. But we are working very hard in those aspects. And to be honest, there's a lot of positives in what we want. But unfortunately, you would want in the process to keep getting maximum points and build whilst you are getting maximum points. And The unfortunate part is when you don't get the maximum points and you start now feeling negative and the vibe is not the same. But we are confident that we will be able to come up with something after this break.
Within the time to during the next 7 days, what are you doing?
We will be on the issue of the period that we have now. In as much as one will be focusing on the training of the team and trying to build them and integrate the new players with the old players. Within that space, we are also looking to try and have maybe 1 or 2 friendlies and see how far can we go with the team. And we have already arranged some friendlies. We just have to confirm a few things here and there. But that is how we are hoping to try and get or to fast track the players that have not even had a chance to be able to come into the system.
Okay.
Thank you very much.